Hello everyone, Abhiraj this side. So this video is all about how to prepare for USMLE during MBBS. So we're gonna discuss some basic rules which apply for all the years. Now we're gonna talk separately for the first year, second year, third year, final year, internship, and for those who have government bonds after their MBBS. So some of the basic rules. Always have this answer ready for you, ready with you. Why USMLE? Why do you want to do USMLE? Why the US dream? Because this journey is too long that if you don't have a strong answer, if you don't have a clear mind, then there is a very high chance that you may drop out from this journey in between, and that is the worst thing that could ever happen. What are the things that you are willing to sacrifice for this journey? You may have to sacrifice your friends, you may have to sacrifice your sleep, you may have to sacrifice your mental health, you may have to sacrifice your family functions and everything. So what are the things that you can sacrifice for this whole journey? What I tell is, in order to find out the thing that you can sacrifice, to help you with that, I will tell you is, don't waste your time and energy on those things which you can bring back later in your life, even in a better way than it is now. What is the source of motivation for you landing up into this journey? Do you want to study single or do you want to study in a group? What works best for you? What are the resources that you're going to use for your USMLE preparation? And who are your mentorship resources? You should have a clear answer to that. Please don't go on changing the resources in between your journey. I have a different video coming on the review of all the different resources, so please stay tuned. Now, do you have the proper mindset for the USMLE journey? It demands sacrifice, it demands dedication. Okay, so if you have a clear mindset, if you have a clear mentality that no matter what, because trust me guys, this journey is so long and it is full with so much of hurdles, and it is full with so much of uh, uncertainty that this will break you out. The person that you will be at the start of your journey and the person you become at the end of your journey is completely different. There will be a complete character shift from the first day of your USMLE journey to the last day of your USMLE journey. Now, the most important question, how to manage medical school and USMLE? Proper answer is, you should have a proper planning. You should have a proper planning. When I have to sit for the exam, when what hours in a day can I sacrifice, what hours in a day can I dedicate for the USMLE, and you have to prioritize the things. Like for example, list out the things that take up the 24 hours of your day, and then you have to prioritize. Okay, these are the five things that I can sacrifice. These are the five things that even if I don't do, even if I don't enjoy for the next 6 months, it is not going to change my life drastically, and I can bring these five things later in my life in a very better way. So you have to prioritize your days, you have to prioritize what sort of things should have your concern, should have your time. So, do you have a friend circle who have a typical same mindset about USMLE? If not, do you even have the environment that is not, if not positive, not negative about the USMLE? So, environment, your friend circle is very important, guys. So, do you have proper mentorship for USMLE journey? Because I did not have any mentorship and that cost me a lot. Okay, I went through a lot of hurdles due to that. So please have someone who have done that before. Okay, he or she can guide you in a very better way. So please have your source of mentorship ready. Study group. Do you want to study in a study group, or do you want to, or do you prefer to study alone? I myself prefer to study alone, so that worked best for me. For some of you, the study group may matter, so form a study group. But one tip before forming study group is, please choose your friends, please choose your study group wisely, because there may be people who will start the journey with you all, but they will not complete the journey with you, and they may leave the journey in between due to some of their problems. So in those times you have to stand for yourself. I have to continue the journey, why I have to fulfill my dreams. So that may dishearten yourself, so please choose your study group wisely. Use the college hours wisely. So whenever you leave for the college, you leave for your postings, you leave for your internship, let's have that mindset that I'm going to use these college hours wisely. All 4 to 6 hours, the 8 hours that I have for the college. Now I have to use these college hours so in a so efficient manner that I can come home and I can dedicate my hours fully for the USMLE when I return back from the college. So please use the college hours wisely. So fix minimum study hour schedule. You should have a weekly quota. You should, and from that weekly quota, you should have a daily quota. And you should have a fixed minimum study hour schedule that I'm going to study this number of hours every single day, no matter what happens. And please, I cannot emphasize this enough. Please do your ECFMG registration. Please do your ECFMG identification form. At least now, even if you are in your first year of MBBS, because from the 2024, there will be difficulties for you for the registration of the ECFMG status. So please have it registered. It does not matter if you gonna drop out from the journey. Once you register for the ECFMG, and it is there for lifetime. The ECFMG identification registration is there for lifetime, so you can apply for the ECFMG, you can apply for the USMLE even 5 years after you be registered. So it is not of much of the cost regarding the whole USMLE journey. So please, to be on the safer side, please have your ECFMG identification ready. Now, for those who are in first year MBBS, first year of medical school, my advice is no need to stress out. You should explore all the options first. Explore out what all the options I have for residency. What are the options for my home country residency? What about the UK? What about the Australia? What about the other foreign countries? Please explore all the options together. And there is no need to stress out that I have to start preparation from the first day of my MBBS. So try to understand what medicine is all about. So first year is a very good time to get a taste of what medicine is all about, what MBBS is all about. Okay. Now your study strategy, your study technique up to the admission in your medical school could not help you with your MBBS. So please try to understand, try to enjoy medicine, do not stress out, and focus on the personality build up. Okay. Focus on the CV build up part of your resume, CV build a part, and please focus. Please join the student clubs, join the research organization, join the research clubs, organize the college fest, enjoy it, and have a good personality build up. Because USMLE is not about scores. They're gonna choose you based on personality. They're gonna choose you based on who you actually are as a person. So develop a study style and finding out if USMLE is a good match as per now. You explore all the options and you think, okay, do I really want to do the USMLE? Is it a good match for me as per now? The decision may change later, but as per now, is this a good match for me? So I don't suggest you to start with the USMLE resources, but if you want, you can try out Kaplan videos, and you can try out Pathoma videos, and you should focus more on reading the standard books. For the second year, things now start to get real if you have decided to pursue the USMLE. Now it's time for you to think about starting the preparation. So try out and finalize your resources first. If you in second year you have a lot of time, okay, so you can try out all the resources that are available there. There is a free trial of almost all of the resources. So please try those out and finalize your resources. I'm going to use these four resources, and don't change those resources to in the middle of your journey. Start by watching Kaplan and Pathoma. Okay, buy the first aid for the USMLE book. Have yourself familiarized. Okay, have yourself have your mind prepared that Okay, these are the topics that are tested. These are the level of the questions that are tested, and these are the topics which will not be discussed in my medical school syllabus, so I need to read it differently. So don't start the question bank now. Okay, just focus on reading standard books. Okay, and you should finish watching the videos 2 times at least in your second year, the Kaplan videos and the Pathoma videos. Because even if you watch one videos daily, you can finish the Kaplan 2 times in a single year. So please don't stress out. Okay, watch the videos 2 times, read the standard books, buy that first aid, and when you reach in the third year, now you should start with the board and beyond lectures. Yes, even if you have watched Kaplan 2 times, I will suggest you to watch board and beyond lectures. Kaplan is outdated, guys, and board and beyond videos are so high yield of high yields that almost everything that is in the board and beyond will be in your U world, even the things that are not even in your first aid. Those boards and beyond topics will be in your UR. So please watch the boards and beyond lecture videos and then go on solving the UR. Start solving the question bank. Any question bank you like, maybe USMLE RX, maybe UR, maybe AMBOSS, anything. And don't be in that fact that I have studied the Kaplan videos, I have the base knowledge, I will start solving the question bank, I will go into the dedicated period like that. You should now study from scratch. The first and second year was there for us to build the basic foundation for us, so that it will not be very very difficult to understand. It will not be a waste of time to familiarize ourselves for the USMLE content. So you study from scratch with the both and beyond lectures. You start solving the question bank. You start slowly, 10 questions in a day, 20 questions in a day, like that. So read the chapters taught in your second year first. I cannot emphasize this enough. The second year chapters, the second year topics are still fresh in your mind. So read those chapters first. Don't go in the sequence of the first aid. I will read the general principle first, then I will read the cardiology, this and that. So please read the second year topic first. There is not much of difference if you don't read the general principle first. I did that. I did not read the general principle first. Okay, so read the chapters taught in the second year first. So annotate well. Now this is a very very important part of your preparation. If you can annotate well, if you know how much to annotate, what not to annotate, then you can make a complete note inside your first step. But if you don't know how to annotate, what not to annotate, then there will be a complete mess. You will get lost in the pool of knowledge that is available out there in those resources. So you should have a pre-dedicated and dedicated study timeline ready, and you should plan early. When I want to sit for the exam, start with that plan. Have a set date ready. In this week of this month, I have to appear for the exam. So plan backwards from that date. 1 month from that date, 2 months from that date, 6 months from that date. So plan accordingly. I will suggest you, if you, even if you are in the third year, even if you have invested the time for the USMLE in your first and second year, or even if you have not invested the time, you should have at least a preparation time of 6 to 8 months before you sit for the exam. So have exam date set in your mind. So what will be the phases of the preparation? First one is the consolidation phase. This is the pillar of your preparation journey. We gonna gather all the knowledge from all the different resources, and then we gonna put that all in our first aid. We gonna put that all knowledge from the U world, from the Bosch and beyond, from the Pathoma, everything in our first aid, and we gonna keep that thing concentrated. And when we jump in our pre-dedicated phase, we're gonna read only that resource, only the resource that we made through the consolidation phase. So remember guys, this is the most important phase for your USMLE journey, because 60% of the USMLE step 1 content is there in the step 2. If you have a very very good basic foundation of step 1, then that will be of very very great help for step 2 preparation. Always remember that yes, step 1 is now pass fail, but step 2 CK is still a scoring exam, and you have to score well for the step 2. If you score less, then there is a very very hard journey for you all in your USMLE matching and everything. So the most important phase, so the we will spend most of the time in this consolidation phase. I will suggest you to spend at least 4 months of time for this consolidation phase, since we are preparing along with our MBBS classes, along with our med school classes and postings. 4 months is not much. So pre-dedicated phase, questions equals to reinforcement. Reinforcement. So we have already studied a lot. We have already made our base. We have already have the knowledge. Now it's time to reinforce our knowledge by doing questions. Yes, we will do questions even in our consolidation phase, but in our pre-dedicated phase, we will do those questions again, or even we will start another question bank. The trick is to do as much questions as you want. Have a clear mindset that I have to solve at least 10,000 questions before I sit for the exam. Dedicated phase, final touch before the battle. You have already prepared. Now this 1 month or 2 month, whatever you decide, is gonna matter. This phase gonna matter whether you will pass the exam or not. So have this dedicated phase mindset ready. I have to concentrate on these things. I am strong in these topics, and how I have to study so that I cover whole of the syllabus within this dedicated period. So for the final year student, final year is itself hectic. So my advice will be, don't sit for the USMLE exam. What you can do is you can read first aid, you can watch few videos here and there, and you can solve few questions here and there, example 10 questions daily. But what you can do is you can spend your time doing Anki. Now Anki is a spaced repetition app that is available in the Play Store, and you can download the already made ready-made flashcards, and then you can solve them in a repetition manner that will help you retain the information in a very very awesome way. So for the final year, don't sit for the exam in the final year. Main goal is to familiarize ourselves with the exam pattern, familiar ourselves with the USMLE content, and you should have a proper plan. When I want to sit for the exam, do I want to sit for the exam during the initial phase of our internship, or do I want to sit for the exam during the late phase of our internship? So you should have a proper plan for that, and please plan accordingly. Now for those who are in internship year, many students appear in this year of their medical school for the USMLE exam, so it is not a big deal. So that's the same, you should go through the same three phases as described earlier. And remember guys, time management is the key. Internship is also very very hectic, so you should be able to manage your time, and you should be able to dedicate your hours of the day for the USMLE preparation. And even if you can't dedicate, even if you don't wish to sit for the USMLE exam in your internship year, please do Anki, and please read first aid, watch few videos, and start doing a little bit of questions, so that you don't start from zero. You don't start with nothing when you complete your internship. Please read first aid, solve question bank. And for those who are now, who have the government bond, who are now studying MBBS, who have the government bond of 2 years, 3 years, 1 years, whatever it is not a wise idea for you to sit for the exam during medical school. I'm telling you this because the time when you appear for the exam matters. If you appear for the exam in your third year, and you're gonna apply for the match after 5 years, after you complete your bond 5 to 6 years, then in 5 to 6 years the USMLE content exam content have changed. Okay, the USMLE exam pattern, the USMLE exam level have changed. So it gonna matter when you appear for the exam. If you appear for the exam way back, then that is a downgrade for you all. So my honest advice is, don't sit for the exam during a medical school. What you can do is you can focus on the other CV building aspects during your medical school time. You have access to faculty, you have access to library, you have access to everything. So please focus on some of the research projects, focus on student clubs, focus on volunteering, because these all things go in your CV. And as I have talked earlier, they don't take you into their residency program just because of your scores. They see who are you as a person, what is your personality. So please go on developing any leadership qualities that you may have, that you may develop, that will go in your CV. Focus on the CV building aspects. I cannot emphasize this enough. Attend any conferences that you can, and appear for the exam in the bond years. Focus on the CV building aspect, okay? Make a stellar CV and then appear for the exam in the bond years. Finish the exam in the bond years, apply for the certification, and then you apply for the match. That will be a very very wise thing to do for those who have government bond. So do you really need to sit for the step exams during medical school? So at least get done with step one. If until and unless you have a very big gap from step one to applying for the match, if you are not planning to have any big gaps between step one and match, then please get done with step one. And please have that momentum. What happens is during medical school, the most important thing that we have to do is to study. And after medical school, what happens, the things may not be same for everyone. So you may get involved in job, and the typical studying phase may get over. So the momentum matters. So that's why if you really want to sit for the USMLE during your medical schools, you can. CV build up, focus on the CV build up, and please make connections. Please make connections with the alumni. Please make connections with whoever has done things. And please, because when you move forward, you're going to find out that connections do matter a lot in each and every step of your USMLE journey, each and every step of your US dream. That's all guys for this video. Thank you very much.